There are a vast amount of themes used throughout the Great Gatsby. One of the main themes used in the Great Gatsby is the past, which was used well throughout the book. When Gatsby had died, his father came up to his mansion before the funeral. At this time, Nick had finally met with Mr. Gatz, Gatsby's father, for the first time. Mr. Gatz showed Nick a picture of the house Gatsby had bought him years ago, that he still lived in. Mr. Gatz had a sense of accomplishment for his son when he was showing the picture of the house, which was stored in his wallet for safekeeping. Since Gatsby had a past of being poor, eventually becoming rich was a big accomplishment for him and his father. Mr. Gatz also presented Nick with Gatsby's schedule and personal rules, which were written on the back of a book called Hopalong Cassidy, which was preserved from several years ago. Gatsby had a terrific life while growing up.
After changing my clothes, I went next door and found Mr. Gatz walking up and down excitedly in the hall. His pride in his son and in his son's possessions was continually increasing, and now he had something to show me. "Jimmy sent me this picture." He took out his wallet with trembling fingers. "Look there." It was a photograph of the house, cracked in the corners and dirty with many hands. He pointed out every detail to me eagerly. "Look there," and then sought admiration from my eyes. He had shown it so often that I think it was more real to him now than the house itself. "Jimmy sent it to me. I think it's a very pretty picture. It shows up well. Very well. Had you seen him lately?" "He come out to see me 2 years ago and bought me the house I live in now. Of course, we was broke up when we ran off from home, but I see now that there was a reason for it. He knew he had a big future in front of him, and ever since he made a success, he was very generous with me. He seemed reluctant to put away the picture, held it for another minute, lingeringly, before my eyes. Then he returned the wallet and pulled from his pocket a ragged old copy of a book called Hopalong Cassidy. "Look here, this is the book he had when he was a boy. It just shows you." He opened it at the back cover and turned it around for me to see. On the last flyleaf was printed the word schedule, and the date September 12th, 1906, and underneath, "Rise from bed, 6 a.m. Dumbbell exercise and wall scaling, 6:15 to 6:30. Study electricity, etc., 7:15 to 8:15. Work, 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Baseball and sports, 4:30 to 5. Practice election, poise, and how to attain it, 5 to 6. Study needed inventions, 7 to 9. General results: no wasting time at shafters or a name indesperable. No more smoking or chewing. Bathe every other day. Read one improving book or magazine per week. Save $5, crossed out, $3 per week. Be better to parents. "I come across this book by accident," said the old man. "It just shows you, don't it? It just shows you. Jimmy was bound to get ahead. He always had some resolves like this or something. Do you notice what he's got about improving his mind? He was always great for that. He told me I eat like a hog once, and I beat him for it. He was reluctant to close the book, reading each item aloud and then looking eagerly at me. I think he rather expected me to copy down the list for my own use."
Mr. Gatz, in a sense, is a portal to the past. He had brought up a variety of objects and stories of Gatsby. This isn't the only scene that refers to the theme of the past, but there are many more to come. There was a time when Gatsby was bonding with Dan Cody, another time when Daisy was going to marry Tom, and lastly a scene when Gatsby saw Daisy for the first time, which brought back several memories of the past. Gatsby had learned about being rich and earning money, this one when he was working for Dan on his yacht. Also, the past was brought up when Gatsby had seen Daisy for the first time in several years. The last time Gatsby had seen Daisy was before she got married to Tom. She would have considered on getting married with Gatsby instead, but he was too poor for Daisy. Time had been a barrier for Daisy and Gatsby for several years. The past had brought back several phenomenal memories of Gatsby's lifetime, both good and bad. This book is filled with several of them.
Traveling endlessly, the ones we trusted the most. pushed us far.